I'm going to go ahead and test this mode out. It looks pretty cool. I majorly pet of Limitless Light, and this is the Leo season preview for 2026. Today is the 14th of July, so we're still in a new moon energy. So I'm going to go ahead and with my 1, 2, 3 decks. The third one is just going to be a special little message from the Moon Oracle. And without further ado, we're doing the fire element layout and using the cards of power, the power deck, cards of wisdom, because Leo does give strength, and we want to know how to execute that and how we can best execute it during this season, how we can regain our sense of power, how we can nourish our sense of power during this Leo season, which will go from, I believe, the 18th of July to about the 19th of August. You could check me on that. I don't know. I'm really not good with names and dates, and just memory is lucky usually in general if it's accurate, okay? Or just aligned, I don't know. But so we're gonna use the power cards for the oracle, and I'm gonna go ahead and tap into that energy now to see what is the vibe for this upcoming Leo season. I hope you're doing well. Courage stayed in my hand. Number 30. Okay. I'm going to hold on to that. But this other one that came out is silence, which is awesome. And then a bunch of others came out. Focus, balance, and offering. Okay. So this may be a great time, like I said, to be back in balance and in buoyancy with our power, with our own power, alongside with the power around us, the powers that be, if you will. It's a great time to recalibrate that. We're going to be coming out of Mercury retrograde on the 29th of July, and that's like right in the middle of Leo season. So it is about sort of the give and the balance of everything right now in that sense, for sure. However, I think there's a lot of things happening in life at this time as well, with the normalcy of an annual experience, especially here in the United States. It's time to go back to school soon. It's time to go back to work soon. It's time to get back into the flow of work-life balance, being super, well, for me, I guess it's an important thing is to be super aware of time. Yeah, super aware of time. And the way that I manage it, the way that I manage time, energy, so all of that, they can all be seen as strengths to me, personally. So apply that to your life how you will if you resonate. Wow, okay, so we got 2 cards that came out. Courage and silence. North white is courage, and west black is silence. And I'm going to show you these 2 photos, and I want you to see how you feel and what comes up for you when you do look at them. And these are going to be our initial oracles for the season preview. Okay. I hope you got a good look. I'm going to do it one more time, just in case. I'm dealing with this circular layout because I want to try new things and, like I said, recalibrate some things. So for courage, action takes courage. We often feel like a fish out of water, separate and different from the world around us. But fish out of water can learn to swim in a new era of consciousness and with a new purpose in life. Discover your power, discover your own power and meaning by having the courage to give up your addictions, then live your power with courage. I'm going to read those two portions. There's a lot more to it. And then for silence, before making a decision of power, move into that place of silence and serenity deep within you. If you are in pain, use your consciousness to find where pain lives within your body. Then move into that pain and beyond it until you find your source of silence. In the silence lives your sacred witness, that which sees all and knows all and is all you are. Power is born within silence. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, maybe entering into a more calming, meditative, maybe implementing more calming and meditative practices into this time would be good, this time of Leo season, as we are shifting, as things do tend to be shifting back into recalibration. I just keep seeing that word is just what is the word right now. And silence can be a form of cleansing, and it can be a form of healing. So implementing that as you're going and as we go forth into these new experiences of power, recognitions of power, of where we are going to be during this Leo season, or find ourselves entering into during this Leo season, might be really significant. And for Leo season, I decided to go with Cat Tarot, because felines, and and before I do the Cat Tarot, I'm going to go ahead and do the Moon Oracle to see if there's anything that the new moon, any messages from the new moon for us in relation to the oracle that came out. Some of these are backwards, some of these are forwards. I'm just going to leave those unveiled. There's also two of those cards. Luckily, they're like one, just a short sentence, so it's not going to be too much. And I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the Cat Tarot. Thanks for being here. I'm happy you're here. And I hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying your summer. I'm excited to go camping soon. For like the first time actually camping with my partner in a tent in the wilderness and everything. Okay, so for the first position, it's going to be the highlighted message for this season of the Leo season. And let's see what comes out for that, okay? What is the highlighted energy for this Leo season? Oh, let me just turn this back on. All right, so this is what it is. Next, we're going to go to supports from Source during this Leo season, what we can gravitate to, what we can recognize A lot of double cards are coming out. 3, we're going to talk about approaching this time. So second position is more like the silence, and then the third position is more like the courage of it all. So let's see. The third position is approaching this time, and then the fourth position here, it's immediate influences of that will experience or that will impact this time of Leo season for us. All right. Fifth position is the adaptability position, how we can remain adaptable at this time, whether we need to. Or not. 6th is the next step in that, and it talks about how to sustain a harmonic balance in the midst of everything else we encounter during this Leo season. So we're big on, alignment at Limitless Light. How can we stay within our alignments? How can we honor and nourish our alignments, essentially? And then the last position is going deeper. Let's see if there's a message here. Now, this I would expect multiple cards for, but this is just extra insights, extra energy to be aware of when it comes to navigating this time of Leo season. And it's a double again, so great. Okay. All right, first I'm going to go ahead and see what the moon deck has to say. But on the bottom of this deck, we have courage. We have the 8 of Wands. So things may feel fast-paced at this time, which really brings in back in those initial oracle messages of leaning into silence, which is leaning into peace, essentially, leaning into steadiness as things speed up, right? As things get a little more chaotic and this guy is so cute, such a chunk, and things begin to unravel. This is what I'm feeling with this card, as things begin to unravel, and there's a siren if you can hear it, confirmation, okay? As things progress and unravel during Leo season, leaning into silence and then holding that courage to still do the things we have to do, or things that we're led to do, while in that space of silence, while in that air of silence, while in that air of silence, okay? And stillness and peace. Approaching things with peace. This cat. Okay, so let's go into the moon messages. Wow. So we have basically the moon that's on my shirt almost. So it says a time for healing, balsamic moon. Okay. So I'll try to add in the video like when the balsamic moon is. I'm not really sure. Myself, I'm not that great with memory anyway, so we're just making it shimmy and shake here because that's sort of how life is. That's sort of what we gotta do, here. And then this second card from the Moon Oracle is surrender to the divine, and it is the full moon. So I don't know when the full moon in Leo is. Well, the full moon in Aquarius is what it's going to be. And so, but I will look that up and try to post it here, down here, down. Okay. So these times of experience with the full moon and balsamic moon, we may have some strong revelations that come up for us, or awarenesses. And that may be the times where we, again, need to recall and recollect to drop into this silent courage. Okay? Let's see what the highlighted message is. The highlighted message, wow. I think this is the 9 of air. I'm not sure, but this cat is so cute. Again, with the unraveling and unwinding. I think there's a sense of stability here that we need to keep in mind as well to stay grounded during this Leo season. There's a lot of noise in the background, right? But a single thread, a focus, is what's going to carry us strongest through this Leo season, I believe. Not trying to do a bunch of things at once. Again, this reminds me of compartmentalization. That used to be my favorite word to use in these readings. And I feel like it's coming back around. I feel like it feels that there are definitely multiple options, right, to be had right now. As you go throughout this Leo season, I think it's important for us to really hone in on maybe one, maybe two focuses at most, not to be inundated by all the background, okay? That is just what I'm feeling initially. Let's see where that takes us. Support from Source. We have the 10 of Pentacles and Strength card reversed. Wow, both of them are reversed. I think a lot of these cards might be reversed. I think with these cards coming out, it feels like that aspect of nourishment and rest might have been neglected, that they might be neglected during this time, that they might be pushed aside, maybe for the focus that we do sustain and possibly obtain during Leo season. And Source is letting us know to keep an eye out for that. Yes, this cat is yawning so big. So I feel like also, yeah, this goes back to that restless energy. I feel like unraveling, that aspect of unraveling is also a bit restless. So we don't want our restlessness to sort of catch up with us in negative ways, or in ways that are counterproductive or whatever counter helpful is. I don't want to say helpless, but like that make things more difficult. So get rest. Take care of yourself. Make sure you're doing as much as you can. Again, compartmentalize to supplement yourself completely. Your health, your happiness, your just your humanity. Okay. Third position of approaching this time is the 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups is about abundance. 9 of Cups is about bearing the weight of everything. Options, having the ability to choose. Again, with the initial oracle of courage and silence, you may want to drop into that energy before making a choice, because it seems like with these cards, there's going to be a lot of choices that come about during Leo season. And it's going to be most, I want to say, substantial to focus on what is truly nourishing, whether that's and that's to our wholeness, to the wholeness of who we are, on an individual and collective basis. Okay? For the immediate influences, I think I picked it up this way. So we have the Eight of Cups. Okay? As opposed, the Eight of Cups is before the Nine of Cups, obviously. And so with the Nine of Cups that we just got for approaching this time, this is also feeling like pack it up a little bit, like finish it up, like complete it, move on, complete it, and then move on. Okay? It feels like there's some incomplete energy here. So to go into approaching this time with the Eight of Cups reversed, I can only say that Source wants us to consider, in order to lean into the silence and into the courage, we have to consider the things that are actually not satisfying us, that are not nourishing us, and then go forth. Because all these bowls are filled, as opposed to the last card, which I'll remind you of again. Even more bowls are here, and they're all empty. So are you going forth with an empty cup, ready to be filled? Are you going into situations during Leo season with your cup half full, or all the way full? If it's all the way full, then you're probably going to be more easily overwhelmed and aggravated. And at those times, it would probably be most beneficial to lean into the silence and the courage of practicing silence and peace. Okay? For the fifth position, 5, we're going to adaptability. Let's see what that is. The 5 of Wands. The 5 of Air. These kittens are so cute. It's reversed. Okay, so this is again that options, that sense of having options, and maybe feeling like you don't really know where to go or what to do. You're not alone in what you're experiencing. I feel that with this as well. No matter which way you go, it's not wrong. It's not it's not a reflection of who you are and your character. But if you don't make a choice, you won't have anything. So with the 5 of Wands, I feel like maybe there's like some competition, some perceived competition, but with the amount of opportunity available, recognize that your perceived competition is only that. There's enough to go around. Essentially, there's toys for everybody to play with, essentially, and you don't have to be competitive if you don't want to. You could be on a team, in a relationship. This could be family, siblings, coming together to attack a common interest or a common goal. Okay. Wow, this is intense. And not attack each other. That I think that there's a space for everybody to win in the situation, in whatever focus you're finding yourself in at this time of Leo season. Be confident. All right, and now for harmony, how to stay harmonious during this time and keep our alignments well nourished and well balanced. We have 10 of Cups reversed. This looks like a cat. I'm going to put it right side up. This looks like a cat who is just waiting for any tiny morsel of anything. I think that with it being reversed, it's letting you know not to give off a desperation, not to entertain a certain desperation or feeling desperate at this time. These bowls look so different from the bowls we've seen before in this reading, with these bowls and these bowls, right? These are definitely like bowls for humans, I would say. And so I think there is also the aspect of boundaries coming into play here. And knowing, like, just because something looks appealing or appetizing or like alluring, that's the word, that it's not, that sometimes things aren't, not everything is for you. And being okay with that. Finding peace, silence, courage to deal with that as an absolute, as a certainty, as a confirmation, as opposed to a defeat. You're not missing out. That's what I feel like. You're not missing out, even though it may feel like it. Okay? And things may be a little frustrating at this time because of having to be put in the place of having all these choices, right? Of having all these choices, but then also not having choices in some matters. So it's a fine balance that our alignments and our focuses will help to draw and navigate from during this Leo season. I see this fork in the card and all I think of is cat paws can't hold forks. They just can't. And I assume that because the fork is with these bowls, that there's forkable food in the bowls. So that's just how I'm reading that. Okay, and then for the 7th position, we got 2 cards. It's going deeper. We got 2 cards. I said I expected double cards or multiples for this position. And both of them are upright. So let's get into it. So this is the 5 of Cups and the Ace of Wands. In my mind, because you know how June is Pride Month, like, can you see this? In the 5 of Cups, it's the month of May. And then there's this like flag that's all rainbow and pride. I'm like, that's June. And now we're in July. You know, so there's something that's been leading up to this moment, I feel like, of the Leo season. And it may be these opportunities that come up, these choices that we have to face. I think it is something that we will have to face and decide and make decisions on. Again, we have bowls, of course, because it's cups, you know. And a very happy, like a very satisfied cat, okay, with the 5 of Cups. This cat is so satisfied, it's leaving behind morsels of food. So this is giving for me that not everything needs to be tackled at once, and to learn the limit of where we would like to stop things, or take a break from things, or halt things, and not overindulge. That's what it is. Don't overindulge. Beware of overindulging, I would say, during this time of the Leo season. And not only to beware of overindulging, but to be okay with with being satisfied with it. That's big energy, to just live in a state of satisfaction. And it's sometimes hard to accomplish. But this cat is there. Not only are they satisfied, they are living it up. Okay, this is like, I don't know, the best ice cream sundae ever times like a billion, right? Feeling like just on top of it all, just in immediate bliss, very focused, very harnessed sense of fulfillment until it ends. Because not everything is, because things aren't made to last forever, you know? So enjoying things in the moment, being in the moment, allowing for peace in the moment. And maybe your peace looks like enjoyment, looks like ribbon chasing, ribbon twirling, ribbon in the sky. I don't know, like maybe it's just actualization of understanding who you are and what you like. Maybe it's down to the bare bones of realizing those matters that actually bring you happiness, that actually do the things that you want to do, that you want to reflect, that you want to strive for, that you want to live for, from the 3D to the 2D, somatically, mentally, physically. That's what I feel. And I think this is a process that's been happening either since May, or maybe there's something happening that, in a May, or maybe you're a May baby. I don't know. But with us being in July, and with, as I told you, you know, the whole like energy that I got initially from the cards, like it literally feels like a domino effect. Like it's been leading up to this point of, let's make a decision, let's look at our options, let's review our options, compartmentalize and nourish ourselves through the process of making a major choice, maybe. So that's all I've got to give for this season preview for Leo. I hope that you have a wonderful season, and I might upload again. I'm not sure. I'm going to see how this works out. And thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your summer. And thank you again for watching. Remember to be love, stay light, and that you got this. Bye.